Holy Shit! Revelations from the Friar, Book 2 of Possumville. Written by Matthew Lashway, narrated by Million Quinteros. Chapter 1, Talents Do Not Fail Me Now. 5 years after the funeral, they buried him on a Tuesday. No choir, no organ, just silence, fireball, and a fried chicken wing toast from Carl. And the town? It moved on. But not really. Because the friar's been quiet, the jukebox unplugged, the ghosts still whispering in the grease traps. Brenda tried to keep it alive, but every nail screamed his name. So she left. Sunny skies, flip-flops, umbrella drinks, but she still texts. You let this place fall. I'm coming back with flip-flops and fire. Little Rev remembers. He was 20 when he took the keys, now 25. Gritted, gospel-fed, grease-ready. He still carries the napkin Matthew left behind. God ain't picky. He'll take your pain, your piss, your praise, so long as it's honest. He don't need perfect, just present. Chapter 2. The Quiet Before the Condos. Possumville ticked on, but cracks formed. The FBI raid never faded. Brenda couldn't save it. Rachel ran from it. Carl stopped yelling, "Clue!" Michael Harkins, sheriff, mayor, town therapist, tried to hold the seams together with bourbon and a clipboard. Rachel, punched by Brenda, healed by fireball, and now a barred attorney in a taxidermy shop. Rev scrubbed the walls, lit candles for the friar, and waited. Because something was coming. And it had a business card. Chapter 3, A Gospel of Blueprints and Bulldozers. The flyer showed up like a curse. Possumville 2.0, clean living, modern vision. Condos, smoothies, and the erasure of everything sacred. Rev burned it, dropped the ashes in the grease pan. Michael gave a speech. I didn't run for mayor. I heard Matthew whisper, fill out the paperwork. Brenda FaceTimed from Florida. That's my damn sheriff. And Rev stood behind the register, hand on the counter. Talents do not fail me now. Chapter 4, Rallies, Raccoons, and Righteous Indignation. The protest exploded like a grease fire. Dan the Ham screamed gospel through a glitter megaphone. Carl, watching quietly from the grocery store, heart full of secrets he couldn't say aloud. Michael stepped down. Reiko took over. Flannel, dip can, Colt 45. Her first words to the clipboard army? Y'all picked the wrong fucking church. And Rachel? Fire in her throat, hair wild, heels dusty. I was you once. I thought I knew better. But this town gave me a second chance. Real love. A fireball shot and a try again. If you're gonna bulldoze it, you better come swinging. Back at the bar, Rev found another napkin. Use the law, use the ghosts, and for the love of God, don't let Carl sell out completely. Chapter 5, Trial by Fireball and Zoning Law. Rachel's office smelled like printer ink and bourbon-soaked defiance. Little Rev sat cross-armed. Michael held zoning code printouts older than Carl's teeth. Across from them, Kendra Lakinson, all teeth and toxic charm. The Gizzard Hole is a fire hazard, she said. You're clinging to bullshit in a brick wrapper, Rachel replied. And then, boom, door flung open. Sheriff Reiko, chewing seeds and chewing scenery. You were a fucking bat. Get the fuck out of here, bitch. Kendra stood, threatened lawsuits. Reiko shrugged. Only thing I regret is not bringing my taser. Rachel leaned back. Rev grinned. Michael finally exhaled. Chapter 6, War in Possumville. The flyers came first. A cleaner Possumville. Lakinson Development, rebuilding from ruin. Rachel set one on fire in a coffee cup. Rev torched another with Brenda's chicken leg lighter. Michael got one with his face photoshopped onto a bulldozer. He read it, blinked, and said, "All right, fuck it, war." Midnight strategy meeting. Dan the Ham in full glitter regalia. Carl with a bingo blotter. Michael quoting zoning law like it was gospel. Rachel's war cry? "They think we're a joke. They forgot this town baptizes people in Fireball and second chances." After the meeting, Rachel walked to her truck. Paused. Found a tracker under the dash. She stormed back inside, eyes cold. "Get me Jacob, now, the local mechanic. If Kendra just planted this, it's not politics anymore. It's criminal." And at the Gizzard Hole, Rev lit a candle. The jukebox sparked, played half a song, then died. But that half note, it was enough. Bring it. Chapter 7. The Fire Next Time. Some places don't burn down, they get baptized. The Gizzard Hole had burned before, once in '97. Some bastard lit a Marlboro in the back booth, passed out drunk, and forgot it was still burning under the vinyl. Fire licked the jukebox. Carl swore it was haunted. Dan blamed a goat. Matthew patched the damage with duct tape, prayer, and a sermon about second chances written on a bar napkin. Then again during the FBI raid, sex trafficking rumors, glitter money laundering, suspicious trivia night tithing, flashlights, federal agents, and fried shame. The friar still hadn't forgiven them. And now the third time. But this time, this one had intention. This one had history. This one had witnesses. They called it a community redevelopment session. But when the diner closes, the post office locks early, and the grocery store throws up a sign that says, "Closed for church, bring Fireball." You're not hosting a forum. You're throwing the first punch. Kendra Lakinson strutted in with confidence only money and ignorance could buy. Her heels clicked like gentrification. Her smile gleamed like an eviction notice. Behind her, slides titled Modern Vision, Clean Living, Sustainable Spaces. One slide had the friar replaced by a pressed juice bar. The crowd booed. Everyone was there. Dan the Ham in glitter-covered overalls that said, "Queer, not condos." Carl with a sign that read, "Gentrify these nuts." Reiko in flannel, arms crossed, toothpick-chewing Colt 45 holstered and holy. Rachel, front row, legal pad in one hand, rage in the other. Michael, stone-faced with a zoning code older than sin. Jacob the mechanic, leaning in the doorway like a storm about to speak. And Rev at the friar, napkin in pockets, grease in his soul. Kendra got halfway through her pitch before Rachel stood up. "This," she said, holding a small black object, "was under my truck." Gasps. A tracker. Jacob ran it. Not standard, private. Likely planted by someone in this room. She stared down Kendra unflinchingly. Jacob gave a quiet nod. "It ain't factory." Kendra blinked. Reiko stepped forward. "You ain't walking out of here. You're gonna sit your developer ass down and, for the love of Fireball, you're gonna listen to the people you don't think matter." And then it happened. Boom! The friar screamed. Flames shot toward the ceiling like a backwoods revival service. Grease wept. Smoke testified. The ghosts got louder. Rev yelled, "Everybody out!" Dan tossed glitter at the fire like it was holy water. Carl cradled a six-pack and muttered something about sacred PBR. Jacob yanked breakers. Rachel kicked the door open with her boot and said, "This is arson and I will sue somebody." Reiko stayed, hands steady, eyes on Kendra. "You wanted a clean slate. Here's your fucking burn notice." Outside, the crowd gathered, faces ash-lit, hearts wild. Not panic, not grief. rage, unity, gospel. Because this fire, it wasn't a loss. It was proof. Rev stood in the doorway, soot on his skin, spatula in one hand. The napkin in his pocket, the one Matthew left behind, curled at the corners from the heat but didn't burn. His phone buzzed. Brenda. What the fuck did you let this motherfucking city slicker do to this goddamn one-horse town? Rev smiled through the smoke. He typed back. She tried to erase it. We made her part of the story. The Gizzard Hole burned. Again. But this time, nobody flinched. Because Book 1 already taught them. Holy doesn't mean clean. It means honest. And this town is greasy, loud, scarred, divine. As the last beam cracked and the sign crumbled down to read, Gizzard Hole, Dan raised a solo cup, toasted the flame, and screamed, "This bitch just got baptized!" Rachel coughed and muttered, "I'm billing her for my dry cleaning." Michael shook his head. "We're gonna need more paperwork." Carl whispered to the flames, "Clue." And Reiko lit a cigarette off the last living ember. "Rebuild," she said, "with bourbon, duct tape, and spite." Rev looked to the sky. Dark, star-streaked, smoke-threaded. Then down to the glowing embers. Then forward. "Talents," he whispered. "Do not fail me now." This has been Holy Shit, Revelations from the Friar, Book 2 of Possumville. Written by Matthew Lashway, narrated by Million Quinteros.